Alright, we're going to work on our overhang today on the front and back side of the building. So I've already got my boards cut where they need to go. I got my other pile over there for the back. So going to cut my boards here for the overhang. Yeah, so I got my boards cut for the overhang here. And then once all of that's on, then I'll start cutting the tops of the poles off. Cut that all off, get my overhang on, and then I'll start finishing out the bracing for the trusses. I still got to run a few braces in the center here for the trusses. I got to run, I believe I'm going to run some boards on the outside for the edge of the roof. Trying to figure all that out because like I said, they don't really give you good instructions on this. You can go off by what you see and what you find on YouTube and whatever else. I mean, they give you kind of a general book on how to do it, but it's not real descriptive. And from what I've seen, all these buildings are built differently, obviously. I've seen some, so like instead of having 3 poles there, there's 4 poles in the center. Space them out differently. It's all on design and how you want it designed. So like they gave me enough boxes of nails to maybe put 1 nail per board, and I've already had to buy 2 extra boxes. I might have to buy an extra box of long nails, 6.5 inch nails. I don't know yet because I'm not done putting nails in this thing yet. So I figure, well, if I have to get more nails, that's better than not having leftovers, because then that means I didn't put enough in it. But I'd rather have more than enough in it, and especially like wood, I'd rather have more than enough in it for wood. There's, I don't know, there's some bracings and stuff, and I don't know if they account for this in the build, because when you do the doors, there's supposed to be a frame, you know, that goes on the inside to help, you know, frame it out, top, bottom, and all that. Same way with the garage doors. There's supposed to be a frame that goes up around there. I don't know if they account for that. I'm assuming they do. I don't know. But I'm going to use what I have to get everything done, and then basically whatever's left over, because like I said, they don't give you total detail, you know, word for word, or, you know, they don't tell you exactly how to do all that. But from helping build these a few times and seeing them built, and they're built differently. Doesn't matter who it is, where it's from, they're all built differently. So our building came from Menards, and this is why I said they don't give you very good description. But so if you buy, or if you have someone come out, so we have a few companies that would come out and build you a building. They're going to go off the specs that they think is the best way to build a building, and as far as how sturdy it is and things like that. We also have Amish out here that will build buildings for you, so they basically do the same thing. Is they'll buy kits from either Lowe's, Menards, wherever. You can buy a building kit, and they put up the building the way they want to put it up. I mean, like I say, this is just a kit, so the kit comes with a bunch of wood, and you got to put it together. Doesn't really tell you, you know, it kind of gives you the ideas, like let's say the poles, the beams, for the instance. They tell you, yeah, you put the beam in the ground. Well, there's how many ever ways you want to put that beam in the ground. Of course, there's also other ways of doing that, because you could also do it where your beams don't go in the ground, but you would have to do that when you build the design of the building. So you could do where you put concrete slab down first and then you put your beams on top of your slab, or they do them where they put the concrete pillars in the ground and then you put them on top of the concrete pillars, or they say just bury it in the ground, you know, just surround it by dirt, sand, whatever. Or they say you can put it in the ground and concrete it in the ground, or you can, I mean, there's so many different ways. But I kind of went off of an Amish design. So what they do is they put it in the ground and then they put, well, of course we did a wood sealer for the poles, and then we put gravel around it. The gravel is going to help compact around it more, but it's also going to help shed water. So like concrete will hold moisture in, and it'll actually kind of help rot out your boards faster. It's a great design for, you know, being sturdy and everything, but in the long term, your poles will rot out faster. So from what I've seen is put a good sealer on your post and then put rock around them. Especially, you know, if you're doing it in the ground, of course, I mean, you're gonna have your concrete footer that's sitting down there, but it'll help shed all the water away from the pole, keep the moisture away from it, you know, keep it from rotting as fast. Because, you know, you have this stuff in the ground, what's gonna happen? It's gonna decay. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, heck, concrete decays over time in the ground, but you know, it takes a lot of years to do that. But main thing is try to keep the moisture away from, you know, the poles and whatnot. we are slowly working our way through the pile of wood. All we got left. Still kind of looks like a lot, but not as much as not as much as what we started with, because it's a lot of wood. I mean, we got a big building like that. There's a lot of wood there. Just a bunch of sticks. Crazy to me to think that how much goes into a building like that, you know. But to make it sturdy, and you know, you just can't slap some things up here, there, or wherever. I mean, to make it sturdy and not fall over, you gotta have a lot of sticks. But anyway, got the overhang on. One there. I might have to adjust the one there, but yep, all the way around. So we're gonna be done for tonight. So let's see, I got the extensions on and the overhang on today. Which that was, I started, I'd say 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. Ate lunch, and now it's probably 7:30, getting close to that. It's starting to get dark. But yeah, got the overhang on over here. So just keep moving at it. Keep putting some more boards on. Gotta do some more cutting, getting some more boards put up there. I gotta put some more. I think all I got left is put one section of purlins on both sides, and the roof technically will be done. And then comes all the bracing. So like I said before, bracing for the trusses on the bottom, and then bracings for the walls. I'll have to figure that out later, because I know when I do some bracings for the walls, which I know once I go into it, is like, let's say we'll have a big window here, I'll have to cut the bracing out and whatnot and readjust where to put it. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about getting her enclosed and getting some things put in it for the winter. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching. God bless you.